Dear friends, welcome back to the channel. In this video, we are diving into Natas, a war game from OverTheWire, which is designed to sharpen your web security skills. Before we get started, make sure to subscribe to my channel and give this video a thumbs up. It really helps the channel grow. Now, let's jump in and start hacking away through Natas. The level I'm going to do will be level 25. And this level involves bypassing directory traversal filter. And as the previous level, I'm going to use Python to automate this process. So now we can copy this address. To begin with, we can head over to Linux, paste into address bar of the browser, and we are required to provide the username and its password. We can get it from notebook. Let me open up this notebook and we can copy it and we can paste into password field. Sign in. Don't save. I think here this time we get a different content. So we can switch language, for example, like switch to maybe Germany. But I think without any hesitation, we can view its source code. To exploit the web application, we need to understand what's going on exactly. And this level is providing us its source code. So this can make our, such understanding easier. In the real engagement, we cannot get such source code, obviously, okay? So now we can focus on the middle sections of this page. And here define the function, can set language of this site. So we'll check to see whether request array contains the key language. If contains, and then we'll call the function safe include, which is defined below. Okay, and the language, the request len, so the value for this key, and maybe. So here just return. Because here there is a dot, it means this string would be concatenated to this value, and then return 1. If we did not specify the language, by default the language would be set to English. And now we can take a look at the safe include function. The name itself implies, include is a built-in function of PHP. And here, want to make such including to be safer. And for example, we'll check to see whether the file name contains double dots and the slash. The double dots slash is a very normal trick when we conduct a directory traversal, okay? And, I have already demonstrated this technique many times. For example, normally we can check to see whether this language parameter exists. File inclusion vulnerability is to check we can access a password file. And this doesn't work because we are returned with the same content. And also, we need to check we can put enough double dots and slash. As you know, in the Linux directory, double dots and slash means upper directory. So we can use enough numbers of double dots slash to navigate to the root of the machine. And then we can, from the root directory, slash to where we want to locate, like password file. But we still get the same content. And this is the reason caused by, this one, because this double dots and slash has been filtered by this function replace. The double dots and slash will be replaced by empty string. And also, if this is another built-in function I've already explained, we'll check to see whether the first string it contains the second string. And if it's true, and then we'll log such request into this or will log such message, and by calling the function which is defined at the bottom. Okay, so let's continue our reviewing, our code reviewing. So here we'll check to see whether this file name contains Natas web pass. Why? Because if we want to retrieve a password for the next level or 26, we need to access this pass. We can copy. Let me note it down to our notebook. We need to, of course, this time should be 26. We need to access this file. However, because of this block of code, such request would be dropped, would be filtered. Okay, so let's continue. And then, if the file exists on the target machine, we'll include such a file into current file or script and also return true. Otherwise, we return false. And the next function is list files, and we can give the pass argument, and here is a local variable inside in this function, and for now is set to empty array. And the handle, so open this directory, and then, of course, from this condition we know that this array will exclude the current directory by this represent by single dot, and all the upper directory represented by double dots. Okay, and this function will be called here. So, and such information will be put into the option markup. Okay, and the value will be put here. For example, like English or der or Germany. Okay. Next or last function is log request. So this is the first variable, and we'll call the built-in function of that. So this means we'll log the data, not data, the data time to this log file. And also, this time will be concatenated with user agent of HTTP requests. Okay, and again, this is another concatenation with the message itself. For example, the message here, this is the message itself. And then we'll open this file, and this is the absolute path of the log file. And this part, of course, this part or this section is fixed. However, this fixed section would be concatenated to the dynamic. This is a session ID. So for every session, the ID would be dynamic or different. And the extension is log. And write such data to this file. Okay. So, and here, the start the session, and then call the function set language. So what can we do? So far, I've already gone through this code briefly. Although here, this function has already filtered the double dots and the slash. And actually, we can find a way to bypass such a filter. So how to do? You can use Google to make some research. And this link, can give us the ways to bypass such filter. For example, I'm going to use this way to, if the double dots and slash removed, no problem. And remaining double dots and slash can work. So this is the principle of such bypassing. Okay, so now we can copy and put over here. If you put, of course, to check to see whether the target exists a local file inclusion vulnerability, usually we can use password file as a target to check the attack password file. As you can see, we successfully retrieve the content of password file. So this confirms our, a guess or, our discovery. This target application indeed exists a local file inclusion vulnerability. And another point with what we have already done is we can use this way to bypass filter adopted by the web application. However, this is not what we want, right? What we want is to retrieve the content from this file, okay, from this file. And even if you put this file and to replace this password file, this will not work. If you click enter, as you see, we didn't get what we expected because of the filter, yet second filter. Okay, so how to do? Do you notice here the log request function? And the user agent will be logged into the logger file. And also such user agent doesn't have any sanitization or doesn't have any validation. So if it's possible to inject PHP code into the HTTP user agent field of request header, and such information would be logged or would be written into the logger file. And then this can be combination with local file inclusion vulnerability to access this logger file. Okay, so I think I've already made the way or the direction what we shall do next. So how to do? Because we need to manipulate user agent, and the easiest way is to utilize the proxy or web proxy, and I will use the Berber suite. To do that, first of all, we need to turn on the Berber suite. Turn on the proxy, Foxy proxy plugin, and then we can go to start to launch Berber suite community edition. And we just follow the wizard to start up our Berber suite. And then we can navigate to proxy tab. And then, we can trigger this request again. As you can see, the Berber suite has intercepted the request. So how to do next? We can send this request to repeater because we want to manipulate this request manually. And for example, the first thing we need to modify is this one. We want to access the logger file. So logger file. However, we need to get its path of the log file, we can copy. Okay, and paste over here. And as we know, this should be the session ID, and we can remove the dot. So what's the session ID? We can get it from the request header in the cookie section or field. Now we can go to, we can put over here. No, not here. We can put over here. And then we can also, remove this double quote. Now we can copy the absolute path of the log file, and then we can replace this file. Maybe we need to remove this additional slash, and also we need to change the user agent. Maybe we can go to the right side and find the user agent. We can remove original value or user agent. Next, I'd like to use this function. You can, use, if you're not very familiar with PHP programming language, you can use Google to get this function. In comparison to Python, I cannot remember so many functions of PHP. Anyway, I've already made a copy of this piece of code, and then now we can simply copy this line of PHP code, and then we can paste in here and apply changes. And next we can send the request to target, waiting for collection. And now I think we can successfully retrieve the password for the next level. So beautiful, right? So next, just now I manually utilized the Bubble Suite to manipulate the request header to get information what we want. Next, I'm going to use Python for the same purpose. And I've already opened up the PyCharm editor. We can right click on this folder and go to new Python file. You can use any file name like Natas 25, and PyCharm will automatically take care of its extension for us. And so next we need to get its, maybe I can turn off the intercept option, and I'd like to remove, I want to get its request. So we can refresh, and we can copy the value as a Q command. And next we can go to the website. I've already, showcased this technique a lot of times. So we can copy to clipboard, and then, we can paste over here. Basically, I will implement 2 steps. The first step is to access the site and get cookie, particularly the value of the key in the cookie. And then, because as we know, we need to get the session ID to access this log file. Okay, so this is the reason why I need to, access the application first and get the cookie. Next, we can, access the site, but use different or manipulated user agent. Okay, so now let's implement it, all 2 steps. As before, we need to import one class from request authentication module, HTTP basic authentication. as you know, this class can handle basic authentication required by Natas application. Next, of course, here, maybe we can come out these lines here. First, we can headers, maybe we can limit it to headers 1. And I'd like to remove cookies. So headers 1. And also we can come out the authorization line because I want to give the authentication argument in its get method of request module and basic. Okay, so we didn't initialize the instance for this class yet. So basic HTTP basic authentication, we need to give 2 arguments. The first one is username, and then we need to feed the second argument, the password. We can copy it and paste in here. So now the warning is gone, the error is gone. So now we can maybe response 1. Next, we can get the cookie PHP such ID should be, requests cookies. No, not this. Response, not cookie. Response cookies. And to get, we can use get method, or we can use a square bracket to get the value of the key PHP. As you know, the key name is this one. We can copy and put over here. Next, we need to set up another different headers. We can just copy and change it to headers 2. And we need to remove original user agent and replaced by our PHP code. This is one liner of PHP code, and this code is retrieve content of this file, and this file contains password for the next level. We can copy and paste over here. I think it's okay. Also, we can construct the cookies, and here should be a dictionary, and its key name is this one. We can copy and paste over here, and then semicolon. And here we can PHP such ID. Next, we can, we need to get its log for file path, and we can use format the string. We can copy from here and paste over here, and we can remove. We can use curly brace, so or placeholder. Here would be PHP such ID. So now we can, we can set up, we can, specify the parameters. And this again is dictionary, and the name. The key name is language. We can copy. And next, we need to use, we need to use we can copy and yeah, and so also here we can use format the string, right? And here we can use curly braces. Okay, and log file. So I think here we need to remove additional slash. So next we can send second request get, and we can copy this URL and then authentication basic and cookies, parameters. So I think that's all. And next we can print out this response, press enter. So now we can bring up the terminal window to run our program. Python Natas, press enter. So I think this program doesn't run properly. We didn't get a password for the next level. So there must be something wrong with our code. So the cookies, so the local file, use agent. Oh, we forgot to pass the headers argument, headers2, because header2 contains our manipulated user agent. Okay, so now we can save our program and bring up the terminal again, run one more time. But yes, as you can see, we successfully retrieve the password for the next level. So to quickly recap, in this video, I have already covered two approaches to get the flag. The first approach was to use Bubble Suite and manipulate the request header, or particularly user agent. And the second approach was to use Python and to automate this entire process. So I think that's pretty much it. I'd like to see you in the next one. Bye. Have a nice day, please.